Welcome back, I'm Rambo. Let's get into this. This video isn't about calling someone else a narcissist. This isn't about diagnosing your ex, your boss, your parents. This is a mirror. Because the most powerful and uncomfortable question that we never ask is this: what if some of the patterns that I hate are patterns that I'm repeating? If that question makes you feel tense, defensive, or want to click away, it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that your nervous system has noticed something important. This isn't an accusation, this is a self-check. More importantly, this is a rewire. The most dangerous narcissism isn't loud, it's unconscious. Let's clear something up. What is narcissism? Narcissism isn't confidence, narcissism isn't self-respect, and narcissism isn't boundaries. Narcissistic patterns are rooted in fragile self-worth, and they show up as defensive when challenged, control disguised as standards, needing to be right to feel safe, validation addiction, explaining intent over owning the impact. Here's the key reframe. You don't need a diagnosis to run narcissistic patterns. Most people do, especially under fear, stress, and insecurities. These patterns were once survival strategy, but that strategy that protected you once could also imprison you later. Here's a question. If you only spot narcissism in other people, it might be that you're protecting it in yourself. And ask yourself, not harshly, do I listen to understand or do I listen to respond? Do I apologize to reconnect or do I apologize to reset my comfort level? Do I feel threatened when somebody sets boundaries? Do I explain my behavior instead of owning the impact that it caused? Do I withdraw affection, effort, presence when I don't feel validated? Discomfort here is not a verdict, it's awareness. Accountability feels like rejection until it feels like freedom. What about the idea of curiosity over defensiveness? Here's why it matters. Defensiveness is your nervous system telling you, I'm in danger. But in relationships, defensiveness looks like denial, minimizing, arguing little detail, and what the other person hears is, I don't feel heard. Curiosity flips the goal from winning to understanding, and that understanding could de-escalate the conflict. In a situation like that, here are a couple of what to do's. Pause for 2 seconds before replying. Interrupt autopilot. Silently name your goal. I want truth, not victory. And communicate. Ask these curious questions. What part hurt you most? What do you need from me in this moment? Can you give me an example so that I can see what it sounds like? Try, I might be missing something. Tell me what you experienced. You can ask one person per day. Did that land the way I intended? That's humility without shame. Defensiveness protects your image, but curiosity protects your relationship. Another thought, intent doesn't equal impact, and why it matters. Most people hide behind intent. I didn't mean it, but impact is what the other person carries. When you defend intent without acknowledging impact, you're accidentally saying your feelings are wrong. Separating intent from impact lets you keep your identity and own your efforts. As a what to do, use this 3-step script. Confirm impact, clarity intent, and take responsibility anyway. I understand that that landed as blank, and my intent was blank. And I take responsibility for how that affected you. And what that sounds like is, I wasn't trying to embarrass you, but I did, and I get it. As a quick practice, after any tense conversation, you could write this down. My intent was blank. Their impact was blank. Next time I'll do blank. And that rewrites you from proving to improving. The intent explains you, but the impact, that reveals you. Here's another one. Moving from control to repair and why it matters. Control tries to restore comfort fast, but for you, can we just move on? Why are you still upset? Repair restores trust in that relationship. I get why that changed how you see me. People with narcissistic tendencies confuse repair with losing, but repair is actually emotional strength. Here's a what to do. It is a 5-part protocol. Name what you did, No excuses. Name the impact, validate the response, offer corrective action, and ask what repair looks like. And what that sounds like is I don't need you to stop being upset, but I need to understand what I broke. Quick little practice you could do once a week. Ask one person, is there anything that I've done lately that felt dismissive? Here's another one, avoidance, and shifting that to understanding your discomfort tolerance. Here's why it matters. This is a root skill, and if you can't tolerate discomfort, you'll always be reaching for defensiveness, blame, stonewalling, silent treatment, image management, control. Discomfort tolerance is emotional maturity. Just take a couple breaths, slow it down, label the sensation, tight chest, heat, pressure. Don't solve, stay present. Speak with regulation, not reaction. And this is what it sounds like. I'm not getting defensive. Just give me a moment, give me 30 seconds so that I can respond well. Quick little practice. Once a day, you can choose mild discomfort. Ask for feedback. If you wronged anyone, take responsibility for it gracefully. Let someone else choose. You are teaching your nervous system that discomfort doesn't equal danger. I don't know if any of you caught that, but the lights behind me turned off. They are actually rechargeable light bulbs, and I did not charge them. Let's take it back to the beginning of the video where I mentioned fragile self-worth. This is why it matters. A lot of narcissistic behaviors is a self-worth emergency. If your self-worth depends on needing to be admired, to be right, to have control, to feel superior, and that any feedback feels like annihilation, here's what to do. Build a worth anchor that doesn't depend on praise. I keep my promises, I repair what I messed up, and I tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable. And here's a little practice. At night, write one proof of integrity, not achievement. All right, we're reaching the end here. The self-check. If you can consistently own impact without excuses, seek feedback without punishment, repair without keeping score, you're not stuck in narcissism. You're in growth. This video wasn't to label you. It was to free you. Growth isn't proving that you're narcissistic. It's choosing honesty over ego, connection over control, and the truth over image. And that is not weakness, that is leadership over yourself. So I'm just a guy standing in front of a viewer asking you to have an open mind, an open heart, and open energy. Because with those three powers combined, we are human.